Not a great, you can say, my mood is not at the best at the moment, and I will not be saying hello everyone. How I hope you are well, people. In that way, I always start. But other than that, I'm very dismayed today. What's happened? What's happened right now, people, is an absolutely ridiculous decision. What has happened so far is one of the worst decisions you'll ever see. Very disappointed, people. He's one of my favorite managers I've had at Chelsea. I love him to bits. I admire Thomas Tuchel, people. I love him to absolute stretch, and I'm broken. I'm not going to say yes. Come on, let's have a good stream today, people. This is the stream. We are going to be depressive and talk about Thomas Tuchel and why he was sacked and why is this happening? Why does this players keep getting away with that? Why player power keeps winning at Chelsea? Why did this happen? A manager who won the Champions League so soon has now been sacked. You're joking with me, guys. Like yesterday, I was literally awake till 3. I was starting about backing the manager, backing Thomas Tuchel. I'll always be with Thomas. I love Thomas Tuchel to bits. And today, I was eating my lunch. I was fine and happy. And suddenly, boom, it's announced Thomas Tuchel and Chelsea have parted company. I thought that might be through a parody account or something like that, but that was real, and I was gobsmacked. I was gobsmacked, people, because that is an absolutely ridiculous decision of the highest order. So today, people, we're going to discuss on Chelsea sacking Tuchel. We're going to discuss on what is right, what is wrong, and player power at Chelsea. Who should be replacing him? On Todd Bowley, the owner of Chelsea, and is he the new you can say Todd Woodward? And along with that, we are going to share on the great moments we've lived under Thomas Tuchel. So before starting, do hit the like button, subscribe button, people. Please support the channel, guys. And starting off with the news that came today, this was by Chelsea official account. The Chelsea Football Club have parted company with Thomas Tuchel. So I think everyone knows about that. So there's nothing to discuss on that. Now moving to the second part. And this is by Matt Law, a very reliable Chelsea journalist who always mostly gets the Chelsea stuff right. He has been very silent on the transfer window, but his overall reliability for Chelsea is unquestionable. And he put out a Telegraph article today, and some of the instances have been put out by Absolute Chelsea, who gives all the Chelsea news. So do follow him, people. Thomas Tuchel's sacking is not based purely on results or Chelsea's poor start of the season. Concerns had been growing over whether he was the right man to lead the new era. His future was in doubt. Win, lose, or draw in Zagreb. And people, this last line concerns me a lot. Like, I thought that this sacking was because of poor results. I thought that this sacking was because of the loss at Zagreb. And it's very clear from the last line that Thomas Tuchel has been sacked for some different reasons. He hasn't been sacked for the defeat at away to Dinamo Zagreb. People, this is ridiculousness of the highest order. This is just like absolutely gobsmacking that he has been sacked where the result of Zagreb has played no part in it. Like, I'm out of my mind. Why did you even think of sacking him when results are not part of it? I'm not understanding. If you did not think he was part of the plan, why in the heck you did not sack him in July then? Why did you not sack him in July? This statement just makes so much confusion, people, and it does not make sense that Thomas Tuchel was not sacked based on results. Concerns had been going over whether he was the right man to lead the new era. Then why the heck did you allow him to have the transfer window? Why the heck did you allow him to run the club from pre-season from July to September, and now suddenly, boom, he's not the right man, let's sack him? Was Todd Bowley not wanting to sack Tuchel to have a good impression on the fan, but once Chelsea hit a bad run, he got the chance, he hit the button, red button, and he sacked him? Because people, this is ridiculousness of the highest order. If you thought that the man was not right to lead Chelsea at the new era, why did you give him 2 months? Why? Why did you give him 2 months? Is people absolutely beyond me. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. And this is the ridiculousness, the absolutely embarrassing thing that Todd Bowley has done beyond the order. Because I thought that he was sacked because of the lack of results, owners being afraid that the top four might be in danger, or such money has been spent into the club, 270 to 80 million. They have a higher ambition. Now it looks like that's not the case. In reality, they sacked him because they were concerned that he's not the right man to lead the new Todd Bowley era. You have seen them sacking Marina Ganavuskia. They have also parted ways with Bruce Burke. Scott McLanagan has also left. They are building a new team. And when you thought Thomas Tuchel was not the right man, why did you allow him to hold the preseason? Why did you allow him to have Aubameyang? Why did you allow him to sign Sterling? Why did you allow him to sign Koulibaly? Why did you allow him to sign Fofana? What the heck is going on? Why is this going on, people? It's absolutely gobsmacked, people, and an absolute embarrassment of the highest order, people. Going on towards the next part of news, and this is the most worrying part, people. Boli's interest in signing Ronaldo provided an early difference of opinion, with American reluctant to simply take no for an answer from Tuchel, who, according to sources, seemed exasperated at having to explain his reasons for not wanting the Portuguese international. People, if this is true and Telegraph is mostly reliable when it comes to Chelsea, this is the ridiculousness of highest order, and owner interrupting within the manager running a club. Why the heck does Ronaldo coming to the club or not coming to the club play a part in the sacking? If this is the reason he has been sacked, people, I'm very worried for a future under Todd Bowley. If this is the reason he has been sacked, most managers in the world, Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola, no one has gone for Cristiano Ronaldo because they all are afraid that he can be a big influence in the dressing room. And Thomas Tuchel has been clear that he wants to build a striker, a side which is difficult to play against, which plays according to his principle, which presses and plays with a particular passion, desire, and no one is above in the dressing room. He said that he used to manage families in PSG, and at Chelsea he's enjoying managing players, and still you want to force Ronaldo over him. Is this a popularity contest? Is Todd Bowley here to impress the fans? Is Todd Bowley here to impress the sponsors? Or is he here to really build a proper club? Is just not understanding, people. How can Bowley wanting Ronaldo and not taking a no from an answer can be part of his sacking? And if it is a part of his sacking, then people, Chelsea have a very, very tough future under Todd Bowley, because this is very bad, people. This is one of the worst things you will read of the highest order, people. Now, talking about, was it right to sack him? Is this going to end in a disaster? My opinion on why he was sacked. So first of all, starting on, was it right to sack him? No. Absolute no. Why will you sack a manager that won you the Champions League, that won you the Super Cup, that won you the Club World Cup? This is the same manager that got to two finals last year as well. This is the manager that got to third place finish. He has just had 6 games and you sack him at the first time of bad form? Are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me that one bad form and you have sacked him? What the reason is this? It is not right in any way to sack him, and Professor United agrees. Wrong decision. And absolutely, I'm gobsmacked, sir. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. How can you sack him for just one bad result of form? It does not make even a sense. Just 2 transfer window, I agree. And one transfer window was also a window where I think, look, he wanted Haaland. The board gave him Lukaku, and Saul was a short-term answer. This is the first proper window he has got, and you sack him. Just one bad form, and you get him out of the club. And then, is this going to end in a disaster? I cannot say about that, because people, whether any player, whether any manager, Chelsea is always comes above them. So I'll always support my club. I hope the next appointment is right. I do hope our next appointment does a good job for club. So I wish this doesn't happen. But what is the precedent we are setting? That players can go there, they can play bad, they cannot play for the manager, and boom, they can down their tools, manager sacked, and a new manager comes in. Now, I understand that when a manager loses the dressing room, you have to back sometimes the players because you have spent so much money on them. It's easier to replace managers than a player, but you cannot set a bad precedent. In City, if player followed with Pep Guardiola, they're thrown out of the team. Why can't Chelsea do that? What the heck are we building here? Are we setting a wrong precedent even under new ownership? I thought we started a new era, transition. We started a new era of backing the manager, going on a process. What the ridiculous thing you've done here? And hope Chelsea owner will join Glazer elbow. I think at the moment I think that would be too far to say they are Glazers, but if this keeps on continuing, then yes, there will be fears among the Chelsea fans as well, because this is ridiculous with the highest order. It was never right to sack him. It was never the right decision, and absolutely awful decision. And big questions have to be asked of Todd Bowley if the next appointment is not successful, because he has sacked a manager that won as a Champions League. He has sacked the manager that won as a Super Cup. He has sacked the manager that won Chelsea the Club World Cup. He completed the Chelsea dream under Roman Abramovich. We have been craving for a Club World Cup. He got it. We have been craving for a Super Cup. He got it. We got the second Champions League. And along with that, he got us a third finish, got us 2 FA Cup finals, 1 Carabao Cup final. How can you even sack him after that? And if you thought that this man is not right for this era, then why did the heck you gave him the transfer window and gave him 300 million pounds to spend? It's beyond me. United did same mistake, throwing manager out and keep all that players. Yes, absolutely, sir. You're absolutely correct in this regard as well. And is this going to end in a disaster? I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't, because that could be a long, long time for the club. Because right now, I think fans are losing it with Todd Bowley, because this is a wrong decision. A lot of people have lost a bit of trust in Todd Bowley, and this is the ridiculousness of the highest order, people. Highest order. Going on, front runners to manage Chelsea, and the names that are coming out are Graham Potter, Zinedine Zidane, Mauricio Pochettino. These are the names that are coming out in regards to succeeding Thomas Tuchel at Chelsea Football Club, people. Now, starting on the discussion on Graham Potter, who is considered as the front runner to be appointed as a Chelsea manager. So we all know that Graham Potter is one of, if not the most talented manager in the Premier League so far. He is getting the praises. He is being loved by everyone. Everybody wants him to manage their clubs, and he is a manager that everybody in the Premier League is craving. That how can he do at a big club, because he has surpassed all expectations at Brighton. He has lost Cucurella this summer. He has lost Bissouma this summer. But the way they have been scouting, the way he has used Caicedo, McAllister, and the way Brighton are playing right now, he's a manager who is high in the regard for every big club, and there's no surprise Chelsea are trying to get him. Now the question comes that yes, managing Brighton is all and well and good enough. He's done a good job, but pressure at Brighton and pressure at Chelsea is unimaginable, uncomparable, and Mauricio Pochettino will be the manager of Chelsea next. Football Creeks, I think that could happen, but I do see Graham Potter being the front runner. There are reports coming that Chelsea will meet the 10 million release clause that Brighton want as well. So because Chelsea will meet the 10 million release clause for Graham Potter as well, and he's going in the afternoon for a meeting with Todd Bowley, it does look like Graham Potter is going to be the next Chelsea manager. And if this deal collapses, then check for his tweet. I do not have that, bro. I'm really, really sorry right now. I'll just check it right now if I can. And people, Graham Potter does look like a manager that might just become a Chelsea manager, and he has been impressing everyone so far. He has done a ridiculously good job at Brighton with lack of resources. He's using Caicedo so good. He's using McAllister so good. He's even using Welbeck so good. He lost Cucurella, Bissouma, and still Brighton are in the top 6 in the Premier League for the first 6 matches. We know that is not going to stay, but he has overachieved at the highest order at Brighton and Hove Albion. But is he the right man for Chelsea? Can he handle the pressure that Chelsea Football Club brings? The media will be on him. Everybody will be on him. Everybody will be critical of him. And each and every one will be on the case of Graham Potter on one bad result. People, I love Graham Potter. I respect Graham Potter. And whoever becomes the Chelsea manager will have my full support, and he will have my full patience. But only concern I've got of Graham Potter is that Thomas Tuchel, before he came to Chelsea, had an experience of managing bigger heads in PSG. He had the experience of managing a very talented side who used to be near to the top of Bundesliga in Borussia Dortmund. At the moment, Graham Potter has done a magnificent job at Brighton. He has the Premier League experience. He knows the stuff. But Chelsea are preparing the contract proposal for Graham Potter, but main priority will be discussing a long-term project. He's the favorite, while Pochettino is now waiting for Chelsea to decide. I do think that I've been saying this football weeks that Potter is the favorite, but if the deal falls off, I do think we'll go for Mauricio Pochettino. And if that doesn't happen, then only Zidane might come into picture. But for me, Graham Potter will be a smart appointment, but a very, very risky appointment of the highest order. At the moment, he's been managing Brighton with a low pressure. I respect him. I admire him. And if he becomes a Chelsea manager, people, I'll support him as well. Brighton will discuss Chelsea and compensation clause right after. Thank you for the update, Football Weeks. And I've been telling you this in the show as well, that Brighton and Chelsea are trying to negotiate. And Chelsea have agreed to pay 10 million release clause of Graham Potter. On Graham Potter, people, he's a very good manager. He has done a magnificent job at Brighton so far. So big credit to him as well. He has done a fabulous job, people. But is he good enough to manage a club of the highest order in Chelsea? Can he manage the pressure? Can he manage the egos in the Chelsea dressing room? That is a big thing that will always remain unanswered, people. Now, going to the next candidate, and that is Mauricio Pochettino, second front runner to manage Chelsea. Now, we all know that Pochettino with Chelsea has been linked for a very, very long time. He was linked after Sarri was sacked, but Tottenham were demanding a lot of money. He was even linked with Chelsea before Thomas Tuchel was appointed. He has been getting linked to Chelsea for a very, very long time. And Mauricio Pochettino is very admired around the Europe because of the way he manages the young players. He had a horrific stint at PSG, but everybody knows that he could not manage the big heads in the PSG dressing room, and he loves to work with the young players like Eriksen, he did at Spurs, Harry Kane, Son. When Alderweireld came, Vertonghen came, and he can build a good young side as well. And this is why Pochettino is everyone's favorite because he plays good football, he develops young players, and this is why he's getting linked to Chelsea, which should not be a massive surprise. Along with that, he's also a free agent as well because he was sacked by PSG. So therefore, Chelsea have a chance to get him, and they might not have to pay a release clause that they have to pay for Graham Potter. Now comes the question: do I want Mauricio Pochettino to be the next Chelsea manager and managing us for the future ahead? Now, people, in my humble opinion, I don't think he's the right man. I don't think he's a person that should manage Chelsea because his success rate is not at the level it should be. I do not rate managers too much of success because when Thomas Tuchel came to Chelsea, his only trophy was a cup trophy in Germany. He did not do nothing with PSG, reached the final. But Thomas Tuchel had a bit of him out tactically and managing big heads. The way Pochettino has failed at PSG, he will have to manage some very, very big egoistic players in Chelsea. Can he handle them or will he falter under the pressure? At Tottenham, Mauricio Pochettino was loved because Tottenham, the ambition is to finish in the top four, play some beautiful football, and that's all ambition at Tottenham Hotspur. But at Chelsea, the ambition will be in the future to challenge for titles, play well in the cup competition, win trophies. And Mauricio Pochettino was a manager at Tottenham Hotspur who did not used to give importance to cup competitions. And this is why, and Julian Lopetegui could be a good option. I think he could be a good option for Football Creeks. But at the moment, Chelsea is not going for him. So that's also a thing we need to remember, that Chelsea are just not going for him, and the links have not just arrived for Julian Lopetegui as well. And for me, people, Pochettino is not the right man. Thank you so much, Brigant, to join the chat. Thank you so much, brother, for the support to the channel. And for me, people, Pochettino is not the manager that should be managing Chelsea. He's not the right profile of the manager. He's not the person who can take Chelsea to the good heights. He's not the manager who can achieve a lot with us as well. And this is why, people, I will say one thing, that Pochettino is not the right manager to manage Chelsea. He is not the right manager. I will not mind him if he comes to Chelsea. I'll support every manager that comes in, graces his shirt. But the problem is, I'm very concerned how he can handle the big heads. And the way he failed at PSG, that's the only concern I've got. But one thing I can guarantee you with Pochettino is a lot of youth players will develop. It will be a good news for players like Carlos Chukwuemeka, players like Ampadu on loan. Will be good news for players like Armando Broja. And that's where I think Pochettino can do a very, very good job for Chelsea, people. And now going to the third front runner for Chelsea, that is Zinedine Zidane. Now on Zidane, people, I will say one thing. He will not join Chelsea in any way, and he is not the right profile I want. So I'm cutting him. For me, it's between two managers, Potter and Pochettino. And for me, people, the way Brighton has been playing under Graham Potter, the tightness they have got at the back, I think Graham Potter is the best manager to manage us at the moment, sadly. I think the sacking was a very, very wrong decision. It was a very wrong decision of the highest order. I'm absolutely gobsmacked at Chelsea, people. Stunned, disappointed, gobsmacked, broken. I have no words to describe how bad Chelsea have done Thomas Tuchel here. I'm broken, people, but I'm going to say one thing. Whoever comes, he is at full support. And I do think Graham Potter will be the better manager for Chelsea. And that's why I think, no, I don't want him. In any way, I don't want him. And Football Creeks, they cannot sack him. Leicester will have to pay 10 million to Brendan Rodgers in wages if they sack him. So that is not possible. It does look like Graham Potter is going to be the next Chelsea manager. And he does look a manager that has made Brighton be very strong. And he's a very, very solid defensive manager. And also gets the best out of his attackers as well. And he's a very, very good manager. So I think Graham Potter most probably will be the next manager I will love at Chelsea as well. Now, going to some great days under our former gaffer, Thomas Tuchel. The gaffer who gave us the Champions League. The gaffer who gave us a Club World Cup. The gaffer who got us to so many finals. A gaffer, under him, we played so many good games. I love Thomas Tuchel, people, to absolute bits. I admire him. I love him. And people, let's remember some great days we had under him. Big respect to him. I have a lot of admiration for him as well. And I always will love him. And Football Creeks has a good point that Graham Potter is a risky prospect. I do agree with you, sir, that he's a very, very risky prospect. But, sir, who is in the market which is a good manager right now and is available? Luis Enrique will only come after the World Cup, so that's not possible. You go towards Ancelotti, that's not possible. You try for Zidane, but Zidane is very inexperienced. And You go for other managers in the league who will going to come to Chelsea with so many sackings. The only right option right now are Potter and Pochettino, and Potter looks like a better fit right now than Mauricio Pochettino. And now let's start with the first big day under Thomas Tuchel. New era began at this day. We beat Burnley 2-0 at Stamford Bridge in Thomas Tuchel's second game as a Chelsea manager. A new era began for all of us, and Chelsea beat them 2-0 at home with goals courtesy of Cesar Azpilicueta and Marcus Alonso. We got a much needed victory. It was a start of a clean sheet galore. It was a start of Thomas Tuchel making Chelsea one of the most difficult sides in the world to beat. And people, what a great time it was. What a fantastic time, people, that was. That victory, that start. Who would have thought that Chelsea will become the UEFA Champions League winner 2021? And this was the start of a great, great era under Thomas Tuchel. Now, second win for Chelsea came away at Tottenham versus Jose Mourinho's Tottenham side. And people, what a massive victory it was. What a needed victory it was, people. And what an important victory, people, it was. And at what an important time the victory came in, people. That was such an important victory. That was start of Thomas Tuchel era. We were getting a clean sheet. We were being tough to beat. And this was a time where we absolutely stamped authority. We went away to Tottenham. We got a clean sheet. We beat them 0-1 and Jorginho took the penalty and we won the game. And it was a start of a Thomas Tuchel era where that was the first big win that Thomas Tuchel got. And that was a win that stamped that Chelsea are going to be a difficult team to beat. And this side is going to break a lot of defensive records. Now, after that, our first real victory, our first proper big scalp came against Liverpool away at Anfield. We beat them 1-0 courtesy of a Mason Mount winner. We beat them 1-0. What a massive victory, people. What an absolute massive victory. Away to Anfield. Yes, Liverpool were having a torrid time. Yes, that was not the Liverpool we know. But Anfield, with atmosphere, with the way they are, Chelsea's new manager, Tuchel versus Klopp, we went there. We kept a clean sheet. We kept Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah absolutely quiet. And we got a much needed 1-0 victory with a goal from the wonder boy, Mason Mount. And that was the first big statement sent by Thomas Tuchel that Chelsea is not a team you want to play against. After that, our next game and the first start of a dream run. First start of something we could not even dream of. Something we could not even fathom. Who would have thought that Chelsea will be the club winning the Champions League? Who would have thought that we will win the Champions League? And Thomas Tuchel's start in the era, this was the first massive victory and a start of one of the greatest runs that we'll see in the Chelsea history as well. First win was something no one could have imagined. We were sitting ninth in the league and we won 1-0 away to Atletico from a magnificent overhead kick from Olivier Giroud. What a time that was. Massive victory. And that is the time, people, we started to believe that this side can do something. That was one victory. People were still doubtful. Many people were saying Atletico will bounce back. Many people were saying Chelsea have no chance in the Champions League. Many people were saying that was a surprise. Many people were saying Chelsea is not good enough. We beat Atletico away, and that started the Champions League dream, people, that we have been having for a very, very long time. And now, the next one, we completed a tie with a 2-0 victory at home against Atletico Madrid. We will beat them 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. And finally, we knocked Atletico out and we started our Champions League success. We finally started our success, and that was the start of a great, great run. Hakim Ziyech got the goal, Timo Werner got the assist, Emerson finished off the match, and we won 2-0 at home to Atletico Madrid, and we proceeded towards the quarter final of the Champions League, where we got drawn against Porto. Another good team, another good match, a chance to relive the dream that we lived in 2012. Now, last night, we were talking about not sacking managers, and today, see what a disaster has happened. Anshul Bhai, first of all, big up thank you Anshul Bhai to join us. And Anshul Bhai, what an absolute disaster, Anshul Bhai. An absolute disaster, Anshul Bhai. Like, Anshul Bhai, you were in the chat yesterday, we were talking about Dinamo match. And Anshul Bhai, I talked to you and I told you that Thomas Tuchel should not be sacked. You agreed with me, and see what has happened. Because what has happened is an absolute disgrace. But right now, Anshul Bhai, we are reliving the great days we enjoyed in the Thomas Tuchel. This is one of the best managers Chelsea have had, and it deserves our respect. And now, people, going on this journey, we went away and we played Porto on a neutral ground. We beat Porto 2-0, courtesy of goals from Mason Mount and Ben Chilwell. We won the first leg. We marched on towards the UEFA Champions League semi-final, and dreams were getting lived, people. We won the first leg 2-0. We lost the second leg 1-0, but the job was done. We were living a dream, and Chelsea were qualifying for the Champions League semi-final. It was reminding me of days when we played Benfica in the quarterfinal, another Portugal team, and then we played another Spanish team in the semi-final. CFC Dubois putting some great tweets showing why Chelsea can win the Champions League, and that was one of the best time people will live as a Chelsea fan in the last 3 or 4 years. What a time. TT will always be a legend. Chelsea. Big Thomas Tuchel. He won us the Champions League. He is the best, and Todd Bowley ruined him. That's a song that I'm going to make until the next opponent is right, and I will always love Thomas Tuchel. Always. Now, on this journey, we played Pep Guardiola's Manchester City in the FA Cup semi-final. That was the first victory for Thomas Tuchel over Pep Guardiola, and that started Thomas Tuchel 3-0 over Pep Guardiola. This was the first match we got the victory, and it was the first victory for Thomas Tuchel over Pep Guardiola, and this started a run. We were beat Pep Guardiola 3 times in a row. How many managers in the world can do that? I really don't know. We scored a goal through Hakim Ziyech, and we won that game, and we qualified for the FA Cup final, which sadly we lost. Now, we played Real Madrid in the Champions League semi-final. We drew the first leg away at Real Madrid's training ground 1-1. Pulisic scored the goal, Benzema equalized, and Chelsea got a 1-1 draw in the first leg. Now, many people were going that Real had so much experience, Chelsea will get knocked out, and we were not taking our chances. Benzema came close, Mendy made a very good save, and then we were getting a bit nervous. Will we go through? Will we win on the big day? Real Madrid, European royalty, Chelsea playing Real Madrid in 1998. And then we scored a goal through Timo Werner, and then at around 84th minute, Mason Mount scored a goal started by N'Golo Kante. We beat Real Madrid, the mighty Real Madrid, 2-0 at Stamford Bridge, and we reached towards the Champions League final courtesy of the management of Thomas Tuchel. This guy got us to a Champions League final. We destroyed Real Madrid at home. That could have been 5-0, that could have been 6-0, that could have been 7-0, and we were reliving a dream. We were reliving the great day, and people, wow, what a time that was. What a great time that was, people. Now, we had Manchester City just 2 days after that. We had to confirm a top 4 spot. We were in a great problems as well, and we had to enjoy that. We had to get a victory against Real. We got that. We were enjoying the victory, and the fans are afraid, can we beat Manchester City? Just coming back from Real, we are tired. Manchester City are so strong. Will we go to Etihad? Will we win? They're reigning champions, and they're gonna win the league as well. They're looking so strong. They are so good. Manchester City, they're gonna beat Liverpool title last year, and now they're winning it. Can we beat them? We went there. We were 1-0 down. Sergio Aguero should have made it 2-0, but he put one of the worst penalty you'll ever see, and Edward Mendy saved it. And then Hakim Ziyech got the equalizer, and then people, Marcus Alonso scored the winner. We beat Manchester City, a victory which got us a top 4 in the end. Champions League, Super Club, Club World Cup, 3 cup finals, lost 2 on pens within 18 months. Tell me which other manager in Premier League achieved more than Thomas Tuchel? That too with the players he inherited and not brought. People, and Anshul Bhai, I'm absolutely gobsmacked. What the heck has gone in the mind of Todd Bowley? What has happened? Because this is one of the best managers Chelsea have had in recent years. He got us to cup finals. He won us a Champions League. He won us a Super Cup. He won us a Club World Cup. Why was he sacked? I'm so sad, people. I'm literally right now wanting to cry because I'm so sad. I love this guy. And people, right now, we are reliving the great memory we enjoyed under this great man, Thomas Tuchel. We beat Manchester City at Etihad, and this was Thomas Tuchel 2, Pep Guardiola 0. Chelsea getting the victory through late Alonso goal, and we march on towards the top 4 hopes we wanted to achieve, people. And we may see a lot of clubs in Europa League from UCL like Chelsea, Barcelona. No, no, I don't think so. I don't think Chelsea will easily qualify. Chelsea will easily qualify from the Champions League group stage. So I can't see that happen from that weeks. Now, going to the next big victory, and now we lost the FA Cup final. We were sad. We were disappointed. Daniel Amate disrespecting the club badge of Chelsea, really celebrating in a big way. Players were angry. We wanted to thrash the heck out of that Amati. And then we had the Battle of the Bridge. Chelsea versus Leicester City, Stamford Bridge, straight after the FA Cup final. Chelsea Leicester in a must-win battle for top four. We were 2 points behind Leicester City, and we had to win this game, or our top four hopes were over. We had to win this game. We started well. We got a 2-0 lead. Then we threw it away. It was 2-1. Ayuso Perez hit the bar. Players fought with Daniel Amate. And what a massive victory that was. We secured our top four. What a performance. What a response to Daniel Amate. We broke Leicester hope. And now you can see Leicester have no finances. They're struggling. We won that match. Leicester might have the FA Cup, but Chelsea have the finances. We responded. We enjoyed. And we got a massive victory under the management of Thomas Tuchel, people. What a day that was. I enjoyed it to absolute stretch, people, because that was absolutely enjoyable, people. Then we had the Champions League final. Wrong decision. It was proper Chelsea. I absolutely agree with you, Sagnik Bhai. It was an absolutely awful decision, Sagnik Bhai. And after I finish the good memories of Tuchel, I will have a bit of words on Todd Bowley, some very, very hard words. And now, finally, people, we won it. Finally, we won it. We were the champions of Europe. Second time, champions of Europe. You'll never sing that. We finally had the time. We won the Champions League. It was a courtesy of the management of Thomas Tuchel. It was a courtesy of Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, Chilwell, the whole squad playing so well. That was the courtesy of Thomas Tuchel 3, Pep Guardiola 0. Thomas Tuchel 3, Pep Guardiola 0. And what a time that was, people. One of the most enjoyable time I had as a Chelsea fan. And then finally, we won the UEFA Super Cup, beating Villarreal on penalty and completing the most trophies that Roman did not win. We finally won the Super Cup. We did not lose. We won the pens. Kepa saved the pen. And Chelsea won it, people. What a day that was, people. And then we started the season against Crystal Palace. Chalobah was given a debut by Thomas Tuchel. He scored a beautiful goal. And Chalobah is a player who has been developed and given chances by Thomas Tuchel. And now we can see how he has done well as well. Thank you so much, Thomas Tuchel. Thank you so much for Chalobah. What a find. What a player. And he's going to be so much massive for Chelsea. So thank you so much, Thomas Tuchel. Thank you so much, sir. And now, going on, a 1-1 draw with Liverpool. We were 10 men. Reece James was given a red card in this game. We were in trouble. We were struggling. 10 man, Anfield, atmosphere. People were scared. Chelsea is going to get battered. And these players fought. We fought and we drew this game 1-1 away from home. 10 men. Players fought for the manager. And what a time to alive, people, that was. What a great time that was. The side was with the manager. They loved the manager. It looked like the whole squad was with Thomas Tuchel. The whole squad loved Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel loved the whole squad. And that was a great, great time, people, to be alive as a Chelsea fan. Just wow, people. I literally right now getting emotional seeing these days that how good we were. How time changes from hero to zero. You can be how time really elapses. And suddenly from being heroes, now we are to absolute zeros. And then this is one of the best displays I've seen under the management of Thomas Tuchel. We lost 3-1 at Stamford Bridge and were traveling to one of the hardest places in the world, Bernabeu, and we were 3-1 down on aggregate. The guys went by 75th minute. We were 3-0 up at Bernabeu. Yes, Luka Modric pulled one of, if not the best passes I ever remember in my time. One of, if not the best passes. And then a Kante mistake. And Karim Benzema scored from that. But people, what a performance that was. What a response that was. Luka Modric was not joking when he said Chelsea is the hardest team he has played in his career. And people, wow, wow, wow. That was A display to remember under Thomas Tuchel. Some great days, some great times. A day, people, I will never ever forget. A day I will never ever forget. And before we go on Chelsea and some news, thank you, Thomas Tuchel, sir. Thank you so much, sir. We'll always love you. We'll always respect you. Thank you so much, sir. What you've done for Chelsea is unrecognizable. We'll always love you. We'll always respect you. Thank you so much, sir. You've been undone. You did a great job with the club. You really picked us up in the hard times when we were under ownership struggles. You said that we might not have enough airplanes to travel. We might not have some things to travel. But if we have shirts, if we have a bus, I'm going to myself drive a seven-seater and get the players to the stadium. That's the mentality that this guy had. Wow, man. I will always love this guy. Always I will love this guy. Wow, man. What a manager. I will take my players in a seven-seater match, but we will get to it. This manager will have drove a bus for the players to get them because they love the club. He was a true Chelsea person. Love him to bits. And sacking him is the worst decision Chelsea can make in a long time. People, the club always comes over the manager. The club will always come over a player. I do not deny that. The new Chelsea manager will have all my backing. The new Chelsea manager will have all my support. And the new Chelsea manager will all have my backing and the support he requires. But this sacking is one of the most disastrous things Chelsea attempted. This sacking is one of the worst attempts by Chelsea. And the sacking has been really broken me down, people. And a sacking that is unacceptable at the highest order. The way Chelsea have treated him, the way Chelsea have thrown him under the bus is an absolute disgrace. And it has to be questioned. Todd Bowley has to be questioned. Because what Todd Bowley has done here, people, is an absolute disgrace. I'm broken. I'm beyond words, people. I'm very disappointed. And we need to be very honest. What has gone on is an absolute disgrace, people, of the highest order. What Todd Bowley has done. Finally, looking at some news here, people, and discussing a bit of news about Chelsea. And for me, my final opinion, this is the worst sacking Chelsea could have done and the worst thing that Todd Bowley could have done, people. Very disappointed, sad, but that's the way, people, it goes. Very gutted. While Thomas Tuchel sacking is not based purely on results or Chelsea's poor start to the season, concerns had been going over whether he was the right man to lead the man in the new era. People, I'm very concerned with the last line that his decision was not made on the loss or a victory at Zagreb. So that means he would have beaten Zagreb, he still might have been sacked, he would have drawn and he still might have been sacked. People, this is one of the most ridiculous things I could hear in a long time. If you did not like Thomas Tuchel, Todd Bowley, if you did not want him leading the club, why did you give him 300 million budget to spend and the whole pre-season with the squad? Why did you do that when he was not the right man? This is an absolutely very tough pill to swallow, people. And if this is the case and this is the preparedness of the new Chelsea board, people, I am very concerned. I am gobsmacked that you will sack a manager just because you think he's not to lead the era. But you could not make this decision in July. You could not make this. You knew it, that under your ownership, he won't be right man. But still, you kept him on the preseason. You gave him 300 damn million to spend. And now he's not the right man for era. Let's sack him. Is this a joke? Is this an absolute joke? Now the next manager will have to come and inherit the players Tuchel signed, and the process will continue. The circus will continue, and the circus will not stop until we mend our ways and we change as a football club, because this is absolutely ridiculous of the highest order, people. Absolutely ridiculous. And this is more ridiculous news that Bowley's interest in signing Ronaldo provided an early difference of opinion, with the American reluctant to simply take no for an answer from Tuchel, who, according to sources, seemed exasperated at having to explain his reasons for not wanting the Portuguese. People, this is absolutely godsmacking. I am out of my words that Todd Bowley was about backing the manager. Todd Bowley was about Thomas Tuchel club. I'm going to give him everything he wants. And then he was cautioning him for Ronaldo. Jurgen Klopp did not want Ronaldo. Pep did not want Ronaldo. Big clubs in Europe rejected Ronaldo. Why do we want Ronaldo? We could build with a young squad. Why in the heck did Ronaldo is the definite answer? Is Todd Bowley in a popularity contest? Is Todd Bowley in a popularity contest here? And why did you brought his players? And I'm gobsmacked. I'm gobsmacked when he brought his players. TT is another victim of player power at this club. The players have to be controlled. Absolutely agreed, sir. And Chelsea are putting on a very bad culture if this keeps on continuing, because this is a very, very bad news, people. A very disappointing news that because you did not say yes to Ronaldo and your popularity campaign, that you decided in one term that this is the reason I don't like him. This is gobsmacking, bad, and gives a very, very wrong signal where the club is heading in the future as well. Now, the next news is, was it right to sack him? Absolutely not. If you really thought he was not part of your era, you sack him in July. You sack him in June. You do not give him a pre-season. You do not give him a transfer budget. This was not the right time to sack him. How the players prepare for the season? How? How do we prepare for the season, people? Let me know. How do we prepare for the season? How can new manager come in and straight away implement his philosophy? Do we want to finish sixth? We want to play Europa League. And then Declan Rice saying, I did want to come to Chelsea because Chelsea had no Champions League football, and rejection all around the Europe. What is the strategy? And Himanshu Mohan in the chat, thank you so much, brother, for the support, and shocked as hell. Absolutely, this is an absolutely shocking news, people, an absolute shocking news. The second question is this going to end in a disaster? Right now, people, it can end in a disaster. It might not end in a disaster, because there are lines that they were already doubtful of Tuchel. I think they already had a plan to bring someone else, which is a very, very sad news. And people, I hope as a club, as a fan of Chelsea, this does not end as a disaster. I love Chelsea. No manager, no player, no one for me will come over my club. So yes, I hope it does not turn into disaster. But if it turns into disaster, the whole responsibility, the whole liability is with Todd Bowley and the people managing this great, great football club, the Mighty Blues. Now, my opinion why he was sacked, I think, people, he was sacked because something has happened behind the scenes. Something has happened. Whether a disagreement with Todd Bowley, whether a bit of fight with the player, or some personal issue, because something has absolutely gone on behind the scenes, because this could not happen at such a sudden rate. And Poch or Potter, your opinion? For me, it has to be Graham Potter, because I think Pochettino, the way he managed PSG is very, very concerning. Chelsea have also got a lot of egoistic players, and I'm still worried how will he handle them. Graham Potter for me is looking much better, defensively solid. He's looking a much more better manager with tactics. Pochettino for me is more about philosophy. This is why I will have Potter. But even if Pochettino comes, I won't mind them. But again, it is very, very disappointing. It depends on who you appoint. I agree. But the problem is, if it ends good, then fair enough. But if it ends bad, we will never end the circle of sacking manager after manager after manager at this football club. And then, front runner to manage Chelsea is Graham Potter. I like him. He has done a great, great job at Brighton. But can he handle the pressure at Chelsea when a one loss and fans will say, Potter out, Potter out? That's the way it goes when whole media will be at his case. Graham Potter, you lost the match. Why did you lose the match? That's the pressure he will have to handle at Chelsea. And Graham Potter, is he ready for that? Nobody knows. Is he ready for that battle? Nobody knows. Now on Pochettino. Pochettino is somewhat experienced, so we can say that in that regards, that he has been to a big club, but he failed miserably at PSG. And at Tottenham, his ambition was to be in the top four. And at Chelsea, that is never going to work it. So until the new owners or the new Kroenkes or the Glazers, Pochettino is not going to work at Chelsea until he has mended his ways and he has changed after that awful, awful PSG stint. Because even Thomas Tuchel did well at PSG, Pochettino was an absolute disaster at PSG, people. And who do I want Chelsea to manage? I want Graham Potter at Chelsea. I want Luis Enrique at Chelsea, but that is not possible. I want Graham Potter, and I think that's going to work for Chelsea. We do need to get Graham Potter, but sacking Thomas Tuchel is beyond a rational thinking. And on a quick note, I will just again relive the moments. And the first day, we beat Burnley in his debut. We got a victory against Mourinho Spurs. After that, we beat Liverpool at Anfield. Jurgen Klopp red, beaten by Tuchel. Then we won our first match in the Champions League against Atletico Madrid. Then we won the tie. We reached the Champions League quarterfinals. We were drawn to Porto and we knocked them and we reached the Champions League semis. After that, we got a victory, the first victory over Pep, and qualified for the FA Cup final. After that, we beat Real Madrid, the European royalty, and reached the Champions League final. After that, we beat Manchester City again in the Premier League. After that, we lost the FA Cup final, but we bounced back. We beat Leicester at the Battle of the Bridge. And along with that, under this great man, we finally were the champions of Europe under this great man. This great man made some of these players, some average players, look world class. Mendy, I love him, but Mendy is not at the level he must be. Kai Havertz has been living off of the Champions League goal. Mason Mount so far has been absolutely bad. He has been horrendous. Pulisic is not at the level, while the American supporters, they keep on going backing this guy. There is literally a celebration going on Twitter that Tuchel is sacked. For me, I'm sorry. You can be critical, but if you're celebrating a manager to be sacked for just a player, you're not a true fan. You like it or not like it, I don't give a damn. Along with that, I go on to, along with some other people as well, and going on some players, Hakim Ziyech, his attitude stinks. He has been given times, he has been given protection by Thomas Tuchel, and this is the way he has repaid him. Matt in the chat as well. Big up to Matt, people. Do subscribe to his channel. And Matt has been spot on for so much time. He kept telling you Mendy is not good enough, but you kept on criticizing him. And do check out his Twitter account because his rant today regarding Todd Bowley is absolutely spot on. And right now, people, Gary Neville is looking like spot on. He is not Todd Bowley. He is Todd Woodward because he is really concerning me so far. And sad times. I think he has been sacked and broken, an absolutely broken Matt brother, an absolutely broken air. Every single player must take accountability, but they never do it. They never do it. They're back. Now Pulisic is getting all the love by USA fans. You will be back. I want to ask the Pulisic stands. If Pulisic is not back to the level we know, who are you going to blame now? Who are you going to blame now? Is Pulisic's family going to put tweets there that the player doesn't get a chance unfavorably? What are you going to do if the next manager does not even start him? Where is accountability when N'Golo Kante cannot stay fit? Where is accountability when Jorginho keeps on making errors? Where is accountability when Rudiger was allowed to leave, Christensen was allowed to leave? Where is accountability when this man stood with us in the toughest times when Antonio Conte or some other manager would have left our club to absolute ruins, people, absolute ruins. And then this man won us a Super Cup, which we were dreaming of under the management of Roman Abramovich. And this guy won us a Club World Cup and he gave a debut to Trevoh Chalobah. And right now, people keep talking about Trevoh Chalobah, not good, Trevoh Chalobah. Tuchel does not trust youth players. He gave youth players a lot of time. He gave Reece James more time than Frank ever did. And then he got a 1-1 draw at Anfield with 10 men when the times were good. And then this is the best display we put under Thomas Tuchel. The fight, the desire. Players were absolutely fighting for him. And now we have sacked this great gem of a person, great guy. And on final note, people, on today's video, big up to Thomas Tuchel. Absolutely love you, sir. I'm so sorry for his sacking. I love him to bits. People, because I support Chelsea, I cannot change that. Chelsea is bigger than any player. Chelsea is bigger than any owner. Chelsea is bigger than any fan. Chelsea is bigger than any manager. I'll always support Chelsea. I'll always love Chelsea. But that doesn't mean that the sacking is absolutely horrendous. Big up to Thomas Tuchel. I hope he gets a great job because he will. And he will do big things in his life. And for Chelsea, I'll back the next manager. But Todd Bowley is under serious scanner if the next appointment does not work. With that, people, I end the video. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much, everyone who joined. Big up to you and thank you all. Thank you so much, people.